Hey everybody, this is David at Barnyard Bees, and what we're doing this morning is mixing up some weed killer. And before anybody comments, no, this does not hurt your bees. Those of you that are listening to those comments, no, this doesn't hurt your bees. So what we got here, I did a video, I talked about it briefly, and bees love salt, and they'll get into your saltwater pool, they'll get onto your salt blocks in the cattle fields and your horse fields. So even direct contact with salt doesn't hurt bees whatsoever. Vinegar is another kill agent for weeds. It changes the pH in the soil. So when you combine these two with the salt and the changes it, lowering the pH, the acidic will change and it'll kill. And also the combination of this two will help kill your hive beetles that burrow in the ground underneath your hive when they hatch at the larva stage and they crawl out and burrow in the ground. So what we're going to do here, I got my pump sprayer, brand new, never had chemicals in it, never had pesticides. Brand new, right out of the box. And if you do use one, you better get you a new one. You don't want anything that did have any pesticides in it. I make this stuff pretty strong, and it's not gonna hurt anything. I'll put 4 cups in my pump sprayer. And then the white vinegar, I don't put a whole lot. I mean, compared to, because that's a 2-gallon sprayer. So I'll put, and that's relatively weak. That's 1 cup for the whole mixture. And let me get this stirred up and shook up, and then we'll resume. Okay, I got it mixed up, got it pumped out. Now this pool salt, people don't look and see that Clorox and say, oh, there's Clorox in there. There's no Clorox. This is 100% pool salt. It's 100% salt. It's fast dissolving. It's very, very fine crystals. Very, very fine. So it's so fine it won't hardly come off your fingers. And it's just regular distilled Walmart vinegar. And now, if you sprayed 100% vinegar on bees, it probably would kill them. But this is diluted so weak, and it's going under your hive, not on your bees. So keep that in mind. I mean, bees are a lot more resilient than what people think. People think that a horse belches down the road, their bees are going to die. It's your bees are a lot more resilient than what you think. I mean, I wouldn't be telling anybody information like this and then be putting it, if I knew it hurt your bees, and then be putting it out here on my bees. You don't, actually, there's already been one put out here already, one application put on here already. But when I put it on, the weeds were kind of high, so it'll have a lot more advantage now. And like I said, there's a big old red ant nest under there. And like I said, it'll get into those beetles, and they will not like that. But that's about it. It's simple. Just go through and you spray underneath your hives, and don't use a herbicide. I wouldn't recommend that whatsoever. this homemade stuff. Now, there is another recipe that calls for you put Dawn detergent in it, but I wouldn't recommend that either because that can be toxic for your bees. So I skipped that part. I just used the vinegar and the pool salt. You can use any kind of salt you want, but the pool salt works very good because it dissolves so fast. It don't take it any time to dissolve. Big old anthill. Anthills, as far as anthills go, if they're not causing any trouble in your hives, now right now, like I talked about before, we're in a dearth, so I'm not feeding hive top feeders right now. The ants will actually help benefit you right now because any of those larvae that fall onto the ground, those ants will devour those. And you can see them, these big red ants here walking around. If they find any of those hive beetle larvae, they will grab them up and carry them back to the nest and eat them. So they're kind of like an ally. So if they're not causing any trouble, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I've been going through my hives and not found any, except maybe a handful of small ants inside the feeders where there was sugar. And as you can see right here, some of those big red ants right here, and occasionally you'll see them up under the lid in the feeder. That's a kind of a mess in there. It's that needs cleaned out. Just not got a chance to do it. You can see some in there, but when you open the hive up, they're not in there. So I look at them as kind of like an ally. If they can get those hive beetle larvae down, then that's a good thing. Anything to fight those things because they're horrible this year. It's been so wet. But that's today's video. And please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thanks for watching. Barnyard Bees.